It's the Neil and Charles Moore show on a Thursday night.
Someone's
Yeah,
apparently in the Easter mood because they're coming to Catholic Mass with that song. That's what that sounds
that
like.
is the Andy and Rem show from way back when. We're talking the early
Oh
days of the
my
AOS.
goodness.
Talking about Warhammer Fantasy. It's not very easy to learn the rules anymore.
That's easy. That's
Oh,
easy.
sure it is, yeah.
Here, here, I'll follow that up with this little ASMR. Getting close, everybody.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, little sippy sip.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm, delicious.
I got my Cavassier right here.
Yep, I got a local beer. I'll give
Mm,
them a shout out because I really like them. General Braddock's. I'm from Braddock,
nice.
Pennsylvania. So yeah,
Feel free to sponsor us.
yes, please do if you're somehow into wargaming and found this podcast. And by
I got my
sponsor us, if you
Maker's Mark
if
right here if you're somehow into more gaming. And I just bought a bottle of Buffalo Trace recently,
mm,
Chuck. Delicious.
that's so good. That's so good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's hey. Well, Neil, it's Thursday night. We're recording. I guess we should give a little shout out. It's not going to be a long one tonight. A little bit of time constraint on our end, but we want to get it in because of our thousands, millions even of adoring fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just get into it. Episode 52 of the Strength Hammer Podcast. Neil, fitness. Give me the good word.
No, I've been running around with my daughter. It's soccer season, so we've been running around playing some soccer ball and everything. I actually woke up sore.
Nice.
That's pretty pathetic. We were running around kicking the ball so much, and yeah, I woke up sore this morning. So that's yeah, it's a thing. Not something I'm proud of, but it's
Hey,
sore
use
today, strong
those.
tomorrow.
You
That's what they
use
say.
Yeah, you use those muscles, so that's a good thing. Just keep using them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mine's been pretty much mostly the same. Just hit the gym, kind of like a standard bro split, 3 days a week. Some of them are at home, some of them are at my local gym. But the weather's been really nice. And while I've neglected to pull out my lawnmower, which I need to do tomorrow because my grass
I did
needs
half
cut.
the yard today. Yeah.
I know. It's like, oh, it's that time. My one neighbor cut his grass twice in the past week and a half, and I was like, you motherfucker. All right, fine. I got to get mine out, start it
Mhm.
up. But since the weather's been nice, me and the wife have taken a walk pretty much every day for the past 6 days. And we have a nice little route we take. It's a little trail behind the town we live in, so next to some farmland. So it's a
Yeah.
good mile and a half walk, I think, we get in. So it's
Yep.
good. And we usually take it after we eat to get that digestion going. So fitness has been good there. Uh, Continuing on, hobby, Neil. How's your hobby been?
I printed out a lion chariot, which is back there.
Sick. I love it.
Started painting on that. So that's what I've been doing there. Have I done much else? Printed a few, yeah, just printed a few things just like for, role-playing games, Hero Quest, that kind of thing.
That's fun. Just little things here
Other
and
than
there.
that, haven't done enough AOS recently.
Have you got any games in recently? I've seen the chatter
No,
in the
but
chat.
I
So
am going to the shop tomorrow, so I
ah,
will, yes. So
nice,
very
nice.
excited. In fact, I may be bringing this gentleman with me.
Nice, giant. I don't know what it's called. It's a Tau with a big gun, and it's a big
This
stompy
is a
one.
Storm Surge.
Storm
Yeah,
Surge.
it's actually,
Now, is that the free one that GW sent you?
I believe it. No,
That
no,
was
actually, it's the second one I built. So technically, then yes, it
okay.
would be.
All right.
And also, I don't think it's free. I think I just somehow got a 75% discount when I ordered one and got a second one. So,
Yeah, I mean,
uh,
you gotta enjoy whenever Games Workshop gives you extra models in the box, and they're just like,
right.
yeah, keep it, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Uh,
So, but yeah, he's my pride and joy of the Tau Army there, and I have an event coming up at the end of the month that I agreed to for some reason. I play 40K, as you well know, more narratively, and I do play match play. Like, and when I say narratively, I play it. My list is more of like a narrative type list.
right.
It has all the stuff that I like in it. I'm not trying to run the meta here on this at all. It's just got big guns. Tau goes burr, and we see what happens,
Yeah, you
right?
don't. I don't recall. You don't really have any crew because you don't care for them. You just have, or do you have
I
crew?
don't not dislike them.
Okay.
I don't dislike them, I should say. But I just like the big robots more. So,
That's fair.
you know, and then you just need to buy so damn many of the crew. I don't know. It'll happen probably eventually. I don't know.
I mean, when you want to play with the army and try something different, I get it. It's just like me with my daughter's cane. I love witch elves and Sisters of Slaughter, but I don't know, let me try some snakes. They look fun, and then you have way too many snakes, and you just have a ton.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Vespid in the Tau army, but they are like these bug-type creatures. They kind of drop in. They got a bunch of AP on their shots. I can't remember what kind of pistol they have, or whatever, but they're kind of like they're kind of almost like harpies for your dark elves, right? They drop in, they do a thing, and then they get obliterated, right?
Okay, yeah.
But the models are ancient.
Oh, so you're gonna 3D print some newer stuff?
I want to find some kind of proxy for those things because I cannot justifiably buy those nasty models. Like, there's some old Hammer I appreciate. I do not appreciate that. That is just no.
Listen, I mean,
for me,
with all the new edition coming out, obviously Tyranids are getting a complete redo from the looks of things, and Space Marines are getting some new stuff. I have a feeling like Drukhari are in need and Tau are in need of a few things here and there. And actually this Saturday, the Drukhari have a lot of stuff that's made to order going up. That's stuff that's in our codex. It's like, okay, well, why is it in my codex if it's made to order? So regardless, hopefully we start seeing some nice like redoing of 40k armies that need it.
At this point, if you have a box where the instructions don't have numbers on the pieces, that needs a little love. We need to do something a little like that, you know?
You can tweak that up a little bit.
You need to massage that a little bit. Give it a little glow up, as the kids say.
Yes,
right?
yes. Yeah, exactly. That's good. That's a good amount of hobby. My hobby has been. I played an Age of Sigmar game last night against local guy Brad at the barn weekly game night. Took my new Fire Slayers out with Gotrek. It's honestly it's Gotrek and a Fire Slayers list that I got for Christmas. This was not a good Fire Slayers list, but he didn't bring a good list either. He brought a giant list that was fun, which is 1 mega and 12 of the baby giants.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's so scary. Like, he just put them all on the line, and it's like, okay. And thankfully, I had Gotrek. If I didn't have Gotrek, because whatever the giants touched died, except for Gotrek. If Gotrek was nearby, Gotrek destroyed them. So, like, I'm like, it's not, I mean, I still think, we were talking after, it's maybe like a 2 and 3 list, maybe a 3 and 2 at best. It just depends, but like, a Gotrek destroys all of his plans. That's all. Like, he's like, if I run into a Gotrek, I lose. That's all. It's like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good. It was good. So I got a little win on my Fire Slayers. That felt good.
Well, if any of you guys are listening, follow Chuck on Twitter. Go look at the picture because somebody commented on your Twitter too. It is an amazing, even though the models aren't painted, just seeing that lined up on the long ways of the board, pretty much stretching from edge of board to edge of board, just a wall of giants. It's pretty spectacular.
It is, and he's working on painting it, so that might be his NashCon list. And nice. I kind of talked him into an alternate. Like he said, NashCon, you have to have 2 lists. His alternate would be dropping 2 of the babies and bringing in that Regiment of Renown, like the Cruel Boys, the Bolt Skewers, or whatever it is. I'm like, and like the more we talked about that, the more I'm like, that actually makes it a pretty decent list that's pretty hard to deal with.
Wow.
Because he's just going to shoot you from the back for pretty decently, throw stones at you, and then run over you.
Yeah.
Gotrek still destroys that list every time, but that's fine.
Yeah. Interesting.
Other hobby, I think my dwarf vacation might finally be at an end. Because I painted every fucking dwarf ever. Except for one. Yeah, so I painted some gyrocopters, gyrobombers, stone throwers, and then I painted up today, today, I got it yesterday, but they were built and primed, 11 Blood Angel models, mostly Terminators, 1 Dreadnought, and 1 Mephiston, and actually a Librarian too, but just a Terminator. So that was fun. All old school, old Hammer, so he left, my FLGS commissioned me to do that, because he had some things that I wanted, so I painted them up, did transfers, did it all, got it to him. And then he gave
Nice.
me my payment, which was 12 dwarf miners, which I actually painted for him years ago, like AOS 1.0.
Wow.
So I painted him up, put him on circles, and then they didn't sell for a long time, so he added a flame cannon he got and a bolt thrower. Now I don't have any of those for my dwarf army,
Mm.
so it's funny because now I have them, and I rebased them back to squares, kind of based it all to match my army. So now the only dwarf model I'm missing from my classic fantasy dwarf army is Thorgrim Grudgebearer, and he's $300 on eBay, and I'm not spending that money. So maybe I'll kit bash, maybe I'll 3D print,
Well,
maybe I,
maybe one will show up in your mail next week. So
I won't say no. Maybe heck, they could release them again for Old World. Who knows? But I'm really
yeah,
pleased to have almost everything I could want for the dwarf army except for one model. So that's exciting.
all right.
Um,
Yeah, but yeah. When a better model comes out, you can take whatever I 3D print and just yeet it into the sun. That's
no, I'll do the old thing that you do for your tables. I'll make it a statue
there you
because they
go.
look great. But yeah, that's what you do.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but that leads me to a weird conundrum where I've been here before, but I've never been here with the pace I'm on. I have no backlog.
No, they haven't told you to start that G-Dub terrain yet?
No, I have it, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's in your house, it's your backlog." No, that's GW's backlog because I could start building and painting that out of the goodness of my heart, but I work for Games Workshop, so they're gonna pay me when I do that, and they're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna pay me to do that until they have a need for it, and they're not, and when they have a need for it, they'll say like, "Hey, you can work this many hours per week." So I'm paid hourly, so that's
Yeah.
GW's backlog. If they ever want it sent away, they'll send it away. If they
Mm-hmm.
ever say we don't want it anymore, everyone in the tri-state area is getting a whole terrain table for Sigmar.
The tri-state area.
Yeah, I mean, eventually we'll get to it. But yeah, no, it's there'll be more projects for that coming along the way. But as of right now, I have no backlog. I have no hobby. I have ideas of what I want to do. None of it's like doing an army. There's a couple old fantasy characters for Dark Elves that were like never made a model for. So I'm like, well, I could get one model and kit bash it. Maybe I'll do something like that for fun. Um, I will be picking up that new Lion model coming out or pre-ordering this Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, which kind of leads into the topic of tonight. Kind of like what our plans are for the new 40K 10th edition coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of this month, Warhammer, they've been doing articles on over at Warhammer community site.
Yeah.
Looks,
Starting to see some minor leaks maybe coming out too about it a little bit here and there.
I've missed all of those. Do you like?
I thought something about like vehicles getting a little bit a massage, getting a little bit better. But
No, actually, they released like I think a new data slate for had the vehicle, at least the Rhino on it or something.
yeah.
Much higher toughness. So I don't know if that's a true leak.
I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah, but
One of them was like toughness 12. I was like, oh god damn.
yeah, but it seems like there's a lot more strength on weapons. So it's like if you're giving more strength on weapons and more toughness, are you really changing anything?
Probably not.
Yeah, it's we'll see. But looks they're saying it's simpler. Things look simpler. Things look easier to read. So I guess if you're a 40K TO out there, hopefully your events should go as smooth as a Sigmar event when this releases, because Sigmar events are pretty easy to TO. Because no one has questions. It's easy, mostly easy.
Yeah.
There's a few things where you have to be there, but like,
Every once in a while, two people choke each other, but that's fine.
yeah, that's fine. I lift
Get
more, I lift more than most of them. All right, not all of them. If someone outlifts me and you challenge me to a ruling, you win. Otherwise, I win.
It'd be hilarious if that's your actual like arbitrary way. Like people didn't know this, but yeah, that's how you're deciding it.
I look at somebody and I'm like, yeah, I lift more
which
than you,
one's
buddy.
stronger? All right, you look stronger. You win.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Hard to say.
Yeah. So with this new edition coming out, I mean, there's. Trying to think. I think it was 8th edition. Like the hype for that for me was real. Like I was like, oh man, new 40K, I can't wait. I can't wait. And then I bought the starter box, painted up all that
Mm-hmm.
Primaris, redid my whole Dark Angel army.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was super jazzed, super excited for it. And then I'm not
What
that
year was
high.
that?
What's that?
What year was 8th edition?
6 years ago? No, no, it wasn't six. It was 3 years ago was ninth,
Mm-hmm.
and eighth was I think only 2 years before that.
Wow, wow, that was
It's
a quick
weird.
one then.
Yeah, it was. I think that was a quick one. Um, I can't. I guess I didn't play as much as I
Because
wanted
I
to.
remember
Yeah.
Primaris coming out, and that doesn't seem like it was that long ago, you know?
Well, I think that was the Primaris one. Was the
Yeah.
eighth, which was probably what had me so hyped up. Like this one, I'm excited for it. I have hopes and dreams we're gonna discuss in this topic, but like I'm not ready to go buy the starter set. I might buy the book.
Hmm.
That's like I'm not planning on buying the starter set.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Well,
need
if it wasn't,
Tyrannus.
if it wasn't for some jerk getting me into 40K within the last year, having bought all the books, played some games,
You played
and
lots of games.
now we
You
got a
played
new
lots of games.
edition. Here's hoping a Tau Battle Tome or whatever Codex comes out very quickly. But I
Yeah, I
got no
mean, I know you missed it with the eighth, but there was like this thing for a while called Index Hammer because they released the new rules and they made all old codexes obsolete. So they couldn't port over as easily into the new
hmm
edition. So they put out these things called indexes,
hmm
which was you buy one for the Imperium, Chaos, and Xenos. And it had all the rules and it was very generic, it wasn't like super flavorful as far as like army sub-factions and stuff, but it was pretty, you still felt like you're playing your army.
hmm
And it was probably the most balanced 40K experience I've ever had because all the rules were written at once.
Oh, yeah.
And that seems to be like what they're doing with the start of this edition. All the old codexes and stuff aren't viable, they won't transfer over. And they're
Oh,
going to,
interesting.
yeah, and they're going to release the rules that you can buy as a book. I mean, you can buy I'll buy the core rule book, and they're going to release rules probably in a similar fashion, like an index, it sounds like,
Hmm.
for the factions all at the same time. But caveat, they're also going to release all those army-specific rules and probably the core rules online for free. So you can get the books if you like, but you don't have to. I like books, so I'm going to buy them.
Hmm.
So I'm excited for that time because it's a new edition's a nice time to reset, kind of like
Hmm.
gauge how you're going to feel. Maybe see like, maybe I can be a little competitive at this for a little bit. Maybe I can try different things. And, like, what
Hmm.
sounds cool that maybe I never used in the last edition that we'll see if it's fun in this edition.
Right. I can honestly tell you. Now this is veering away from 40K for a second, but talking about a new edition change. I had just sold my Soul Blight right
Mm-hmm.
before the book came out, and seeing the new book, good riddance.
Not to your taste, I see.
No, it's exactly the same book with a few less things in it, from what I could gather.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, here's to hoping that's not what happens in this case. So I was kind of hoping to see them take some things a little bit different way, like maybe some Blood Knights who could charge in and do more than one damage. But that is not to be. So, not Blood Knights, I'm sorry, Black Knights.
Black Knights, yep.
Yeah, oh my God.
I still toy with the idea of Lauka, Vi, some Blood
Yeah,
Knights,
goodbye. Yeah.
and then whatever else I need for Battle Line. I
Mhm.
don't know, like just like I think, well, aren't Black Knights, aren't they Battle Line for that army?
They are, I think, if you have like a White King as a
Hmm.
general, or at least in your army.
Okay,
I don't know. I
I'll
haven't
have to
seen
see.
that
Because
possibly change, but
that's the problem. Like, I love the character and I want to run an army around her, but I usually don't like anything else in that army.
yeah, like, that's it. That's my point is like nothing else looks like it goes with it. Like, oh, it's the
Oh,
zombie list.
oh, you know
I'm
what?
like,
I could get, was it Vargeists, the winged
yeah,
vampire
those
beast?
are what they go with there, but
Yeah.
they're also terrible. So,
I don't,
uh,
listen, I don't care about good or terrible. I just like her. It's the same thing. I have a Sylvaneth army because I wanted a Lariel.
uh-huh,
I bought a Lariel and I'll put stuff around her. I don't know if it's good. I just
yeah,
wanted it and I own it and
yeah,
I'm happy.
yeah.
Capitalism won.
There it is. Well done. Yeah, I agree with you, 100% with that.
Yeah, but regardless, back into the 40K world, which is where we're
Hmm.
at. It's a new edition, a little bit of a reset. What what's kind of like, I mean, and I mean, you're going to a 40K event. Like it's a one day, I assume, right?
Yeah, it's a one-dayer. It's actually a four-person tournament,
Ooh.
four-person team tournament.
Oh, that's
With
cool.
and basically how it works is you have a team of four, and you go to a table, you get your game, and you pick two people from your team of four to play in that game, and the other two play in a different game. And the factions that you play have to make sense and have to be able to align and all that kind of stuff. All four people on our team are Tau, so
Ah,
we will
yeah.
lose spectacularly.
Or you'll
So
shoot them off turn one.
one of the two will happen. So, I wasn't very excited, because like I said, I'm very, very leery about playing any kind of 40K tournaments based on what I've heard,
Yeah.
based on what I've seen with my own two eyes. But it's just at a FLGS. I know pretty much everybody who's playing in it to some degree or another. So, yeah, it should still be fun. And it's just one day, so we'll line up stuff. We'll shoot stuff and move on.
You should
I mean,
definitely.
at this point, with 10th this close,
Yeah, who cares?
kind of feels silly to be playing ninth at this point, but whatever,
You're
especially in a tournament.
just doing it for
But
fun. Um,
yeah,
you
yeah.
should definitely do the thing where you're talking to your opponent and just be like, "Oh, that's a cool model. Is that like your leader? Is that your cool? Is that your favorite model?" And
Oh, yeah.
wait for them to tell you what the favorite model is, and every gun in your whole army kills that model.
Oh, I have a hammerhead in my 1,000 point list.
Oh,
So
perfect. Yeah.
as well as a riptide. So I mean that can happen. But what'll happen is I'll roll a 2 twice on the hammerhead's attack, like what happened in my game at Adepta won't.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair. That's fair.
but
No,
no, it's
that's cool. So, I mean, what with new 40K coming out, what are you hoping to do with your army, with
well,
playing in scenes? Like what's your kind of like hopes and wants for the new edition, whether it's for yourself or for the rules itself?
well when we were talking about this kind of just on the chat, just talking about what we're going to talk about today, I started thinking about it, and actually, one of the things, so I like the big robots,
Yep.
right? That's what drew me to the army and everything. So I want basically, I'm trying to play BattleTech with 40K models is essentially what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
That's what's going on in my head while it's all happening. But I also like the flyers. Right?
Okay.
So I'm in it for the vehicles. You can send Space Marines to the freaking moon and leave them there. That doesn't do anything for me really. But the big, the vehicle combat and the flyers and stuff like that, whether there's Space Marines in them or not, I think that part's cool, right? And I like the baseline troops as well, but they're not the reason why I have the army, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm hoping, because flyers seemed like they were at least for Tau, not in a great spot.
They just weren't. Period. They made some changes to them. They weren't. I
Yeah,
mean, my favorite
yeah.
flyer is the Void Raven Bomber, my Drukhari, and I
Mhm.
have it, and it's in every list, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's just terrible, but I love it, and it's in every
Yeah,
list.
I wouldn't know anything about that, and I'd turn every gun towards them, big ship, looks like it can do stuff, right?
Well, hold on, but just to give you an insight on the Void Raven Bomber, once per game, it has the guns and it can move, but once per
Mhm.
game, I can drop my Void Bomb.
Mhm.
I pick a point in an area that I crossed over movement wise,
Mhm.
and I think it's within 6 inches. Maybe it's D3 plus. It's a moderate amount, so you can time it right, get some good stuff.
Mhm.
And then after I drop that bomb once per game, I roll a dice for each unit. And on
Each
two
unit,
plus,
enemy unit, friendly unit.
I think it hits everybody.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah, but I have to roll a dice. And on 2+, I can then do like D3 or D6 mortal wound. Like it's shit. It's complete shit. I have to roll a dice. I have a once per game ability that I have to roll
Shattering.
dice. It's just like, yeah, when that first model first came out, that's what that thing was. I flew over something. I said this part of the board is now gone.
Yeah.
Screw you. Like if you live,
Mhm.
holy crap, you're custodies. But
Mhm.
now it's like whatever. So I'm with you.
Interesting.
I hope they make flyers great again. Where's my
Right,
hat?
right, right.
Need my
I
hat.
want to zoom things over top the battlefield. I want to play World War II with my planes here. Come on, let me do it.
Yeah, because I do kind of miss back in sixth when I started. if you had flyers, it was very much a if you had a flyer and your opponent had a flyer, all of a sudden it became there was the ground war, and then you also had this secondary game of the sky war that you guys were playing too.
Nice.
Because flyers usually didn't hurt. There was a few, but like mostly like you brought a flyer to deal with flyers, and it was fun because like you'd have a sky battle. Well,
Mm-hmm.
and then if the ship goes down, it crashes onto the stuff below, which made sense, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
mayhem. But
How about you do more damage with the ship crashing than you do with its futuristic 40K weaponry?
I mean, yeah, they could. Okay, so you're hoping to add some flyers to your army, assuming that they're worth the effort to go through with that. I get that.
I mean, I'll probably do it one way or the other because that's been on the back of my mind for a little while. But yeah, here's to hoping that they're useful, though. I'd like to see them on the battlefield.
Are you thinking about trying the new Far Strider model, or does that guy not interest you at all?
Um, he does, but the style of play I haven't been able to understand yet. Like, I don't get why it's a thing to have somebody who's good at melee in an army that shoots and is the rest of the army's terrible at melee. So as soon as somebody explains it to me that's more intelligent than I am, so pretty much anyone, I would love to hear it because it's a cool model.
Yeah,
Like I'm up for Farsight, but
his story is awesome.
yeah, yeah. So
I could explain it to you. Did you ever watch '90s anime?
yes, I've seen some. Yeah,
That's it.
that's that's it. So
Why is this why does Tau exist? Because Gundams are cool. That's why Tau
right,
exists, which is
right.
fair. I like Gundams. It's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Why does Farsight exist? Because anime protagonists usually have swords, and we're
Of
gonna
course,
put him with the Gundam army because he's the anime boy.
right. So and granted, he's good. He's
Oh
good at
yeah,
close combat. I don't even know that he's like the best at it though. Like he's not like you put him up against somebody else's good thing, and he's just kind of like average. I feel like probably.
well, if you put him like
Um,
up against my boy that I'm getting and
yeah,
planning to do stuff with my army, the Lion,
yeah, he'd wreck his ass, right? I mean,
absolutely,
yeah.
every
So
single
I'm like,
time
I'm,
Farsight is
I'm like,
dead.
why am I doing this? I don't know why I have this guy in my army.
Yeah, not to
So
mention the Lion can eat just deep strikes.
does he
I'm
really?
sure Farsight has some way to do that too, but Lion's just like automatic. I get to reroll shit. It's whoa.
Uh,
There is a bit of a like clearly we're in the end game now. At the end of every edition, rules are gonna get wildly out of hand,
mm-hmm,
and it's just gonna be fun for a little bit. Now they're gonna try and tamper it down. Like they just put out the last balanced data slate for this edition,
mm-hmm.
and since we're getting the Lion, they decided to nerf our Terminators, which were way overpowered and winning quite a bit for Dark Angels specifically.
Oh, well.
And it's funny watching people either not care or care on the internet today. So that was fun. But yeah, it is because it's like a back and forth between
Going down
people
with that ship. Yeah,
like
that's
people being butthurt and the other people just like posting memes of like loyalty is its own reward. I'm like, yeah, it's toys,
right.
guys. Just have fun.
Just slide him to the side for 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. But my plans for new 40K. So I have a nice Yanari army, and I love it. But I have no need to add anything to it. Same thing with my Drukhari, because I have more than what I need. I have everything I want for that army currently. Maybe add another flyer here or there, but
Mm-hmm.
um, not an immediate concern because with the line out, I'm super jazzed to go back to my original love, my Dark Angels.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I moved away from the Dark Angels was because, well, there's no real story to keep me hooked, and I was tired of Games Workshop not pulling the Band-Aid off, and like I'm half Primaris, half not Primaris, and with the way the rules worked, I was like, I hated it.
You wanted to paint a different color of Space Marine. That's probably what it was.
No, I mean that's why I like Dark Angels. I have three colors I can paint. I can paint the black, I can paint the green, I can paint the bone.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, so I'm hoping from what looks like, it looks like even if they're not getting rid of the firstborn and just going all Primaris, they're at least not caring so much as differentiating them. It's just like you're a fucking Space Marine, go.
Right.
Which I'm all for that.
Yeah,
So
they did that originally I feel like to get people to buy the Primaris who have, people been collecting 40K armies for how long,
Which
right? And if you can just say, this Marine is this Marine.
I have zero problems with that. Absolutely none.
Yeah,
Like, sure, if
yeah.
that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
go for it. But if you don't make the models,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck am I supposed to do? You
Right.
weren't making bikers. You weren't making Terminators. You weren't making Dark Angel specific units. And, being
Right.
one of the non-core chapters, I have a lot of unique flavor in all my stuff. Same with Blood Angels and Space Wolves. They have the same problem.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw money on a... It just wasn't worth it. So it's like I set them aside. I'm enjoying my Eldari because I do love my elves. But
Mm-hmm.
everything looks like it's going to be a good time to go back in with the Dark Angels. I'm going to pick up the Lion. I'm excited that I get to buy him with that starter box, assuming I get one. I don't screw up my pre-orders. With those Blade Guard veterans, because I don't have any. Because like I said, I wasn't playing Space Marines. And pick up the new Azrael. And then I'll look to probably add like at least some intercessors, the basic Primaris troops. Because like I'll work towards going as Primaris as I can. That doesn't bother me, and I kind of want to. The models are cool. But
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like my start. Like probably tomorrow, since I have no backlog, is I'm going to get out all my Dark Angels, reassess what I have, where I want to grow potentially. I mean, I'm not gonna buy more than the Lion with this Blade Guard, Azrael, and maybe a box of intercessors until the new edition.
Hmm.
Like there's no, I don't know what points are going to be. I don't, you know, who knows what's going to be. If I even need to have a certain number of troop choices. So I mean, I'm gonna enjoy that, but like, and then if they come out, the plan is to start Dark Angels and enjoying the game that way, and hopefully we continue to get more insights. Actually, I meant to mention this earlier, but end of this month is Warhammer Fest, and while I sadly won't be going,
Mm-hmm.
they are doing demos for new 40K there. So we'll probably start seeing a lot of stuff about how the new game plays, at least on a basic level,
Mm-hmm.
which will help give some insight to things too. So and obviously more articles will come out.
Yeah. I mean, anybody who's familiar with the 3.0 AOS release, I'm willing to bet this will feel very similar.
Yeah,
So,
it's
as far as like how they present the rules and start to filter them out into the environment. So
for sure. Um, and actually, you're doing something I hope to do with this new edition is go to an event for 40K.
yeah.
Um, yeah, like even like a one day. I just haven't done that because I haven't had a need.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping to give it a go.
Yeah.
New game
Yeah.
system. See how the community is. Maybe out the Fabricators Forge. Maybe make it a 2-day because they run the 2 days out there. But
Mm-hmm.
that's something else I'd like to do for this new edition. Go to an actual 40K event. I may hate it.
Okay.
I may absolutely despise it.
Yeah.
Or I could love it.
I don't know, man. I'd tell you to start small, but with people you know. But who knows? You can dive right in both feet. That's fine. Let me know how that goes for you.
Ooh, we'll see. Maybe I'll drag Matt with me
Mm-hmm.
because even if I'm having a bad time, I'll just
Oh
know
God, don't drag Matt to a 40K event.
I say if I'm having a bad time, I guarantee you Matt will be having a worse time.
Right. Oh my God, you guys will be going out for lunch and never coming back.
Yeah, I say like that's the best part. We just like, hey Matt, you just want to leave and go play 40K at your place? Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. How far is Fabricators Forge from Matt's place? Close?
15 minutes.
Oh, nice.
It's only about
That's
an
good.
hour, hour and some change for me, so it's not terribly far.
So it is pretty funny. Like kind of in both of our backyards, you have like, I don't know, a lot of Team USA coming up there to play each other fairly regularly.
Yeah,
Anytime you want to play like AOS competitively, it's kind of in our backyard there.
yeah,
So
it is. And actually, the end of this month is the Warpstone Wars for Sigmar, and I know 3 members of Team USA will be there. 2 are local, and one's, I think he's from New York or New Jersey. Noah. So it should be a good time. Which he's a good guy, so it'll be fun to
yeah,
hopefully I can do well enough to maybe play him in a game.
yeah.
He's a cool dude.
Gonna draw these guys like round one if you want to play them. Yeah.
Well, I'm probably gonna grudge Matt round 1
Mm.
because don't forget I'm not sure if we told you this, but our Warhammer store anniversary is the same Saturday of this tournament.
Yeah.
And me and Matt want to get that KO Admiral.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to grudge round one, play the game as quickly as possible, drive the half hour and back, and maybe it's
Yeah,
45, to go buy the model and come back for round two before
yeah,
lunch is over.
yeah. Remember to pick me one of those up
Oh yeah,
if it's.
yep, absolutely.
And if you find Brock Grunson anywhere, I'm looking for that guy too.
I
So
mean, he's up at my current shop owners, but
hmm.
yep, well, might be.
Couldn't find him at the my local GW store was out,
Hmm.
but that's not a rare occurrence or whatever. But
Yeah, they go pretty slim. But yeah, but I mean, we
when
can.
your wife winds up at a birthday party for my son, and then just happens to notice a Warhammer store in the same plaza, and then says, "Text me, do you need anything?" That's when you've leveled up, right?
Oh yeah,
So
oh yeah,
I don't know that there's a lot of those out there. I'm just saying, like, I got one. So
yep. You're in like Flynn.
but getting back on track here.
Yes.
So I'm talking 40K events and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to play in a 40K event, and I would like to take the Lion and some Dark Angels. I think to that event that would be a fun time for me, and I want to do it quickly within the start of the release, not 6 months down the road when everything's changed and different and it's back to its old ways.
yeah, I'm hoping that these guys become a little bit more playable. Man, I'd even settle for them being not as good as what they are. They're okay, just a little bit overpointed as far as I'm concerned. They came out, I felt like a really good points cost, and people still weren't playing them. So I don't know why they went up 70 points, but they sure went up 70 points. So I guess that's my hope for the new one too, is that these guys become pointed a little bit more efficiently, because I have two of them and I'd like to play two of them.
I mean,
Just
yeah,
saying.
absolutely. Two of those just sitting back, just pew pew pew.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Also, I apologize to all the video watchers. I apparently had my mouse over the Discord video, so you could see the hang up video. You can see all that crap on the screen. So sorry, YouTube and Spotify video watchers, because hey, if you're subscribed on Spotify, we have video over there, because they allow it. It's cool. But
Nice.
trying to think what else I want to do. Oh, actually, know what else I want to do? I definitely want to add this. I do want to add one of the Dark Angel flyers to my Dark Angel force. So maybe I'll pick that up after the Lion, because I want one either way, even if it's bad, because that's such a cool model. And it's actually pretty old now that I think about it. Because it was like, when I was first getting into it, it was like a new model, and it was sleek and cool as hell, but that was quite a while ago. Watch, I'll buy it, and they'll Legends it. Maybe I should wait until... I don't know. It's so hard to tell.
Flyers for anybody else's army. I think about a guy I played, John. He's got the Adeptus Mechanicus, right? And he's got that... the only way I can describe is that Leonardo da Vinci looking flying machine, stupid ass thing.
Yep.
I shot that motherfucker out of the sky in one round. Just boom, he's gone. I was like, this thing's got to go. It's not because of any threat that it's posing me, but it looks stupid.
It's just ruining my immersion in the game. I must kill it.
He's like, man, I can't unsee that now. I'm like, no, you can't.
No, some weird dragonfly thing. You could be like some of the people around here that have that army, and they have that flyer, and it's not even fully built. So imagine how stupid it looks at that.
Oh my god, I can't.
Yeah.
Saw something on Reddit recently, and the guy's like, "What am I missing from this Tau army?" And like about 20 people just respond with paint.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Get fucked. Oh boy, I love it.
Reddit is where you go if you want to have low self-esteem.
If you want to see the base takes of people who call out your bullshit.
Oh.
Hey, what am I missing here? Any sort of fucking effort, buddy. Come on, pick up the pace.
Right.
Prime it. Just fucking prime it. Let's start there.
Painted model. Yeah.
I mean, you know, maybe I'll do it. I'll just post up a picture of like a stack of boxes and be like, look at my new army, guys. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. Just leave it in the boxes. Play it like that.
So just put the base down, put the box on top of it.
There, I could see someone doing that.
Absolutely.
Like just for silliness. Just do it
Mhm.
once.
Right.
Like get away with it. Wonder if
I at one point did cut out Radikar the Beast and stick him on a base because I was trying to trial his rules
oh yeah.
and I had a tournament coming up and I wanted to know like what he did. So I'm like, I'm sorry, this guy's not even built yet, but I got it. Like I was playing a game. I'm like, I'm gonna put him in here. I literally super glued the picture to the base.
When I was first starting back into like this fantasy fun, I was playing my high elves. I took because I have the old Eltharion, the Grim, where he's the cardboard on a little 25 mil like
Oh yeah,
Slotta
classic.
thingy,
Absolutely classic.
and I have it. It's in perfect condition. I took it to the game. I forget who I was playing, and they were just like, "The hell is that?" I'm like, "Technically, it's an official GW model." All
Right.
right, what? And they're just like, "All right, whatever." I was like, "Sweet, I used this model once. I am done with it."
Wow.
Put it back.
What was the old Warhammer Fantasy European Championships called? I can't remember. Was this called the Euro Champions?
No.
All I know is like you'd see some shit there that like
Yeah,
somebody had one of those like Skyhawk chariots and it was just
it was Cam Tuna.
like a ceramic duck and like a like a soup can on the back of a base.
Actually, surprisingly, that was I think the first year of Age of Sigmar because they still had the event.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember talking to someone from GW about it at the time. Obviously, I wasn't working there. And he's just like, I have to show you this. It's gonna break your heart. And I saw it, and I was just like, busted out laughing. And I was like, that's the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. Like, it's such a cool model. Like, it's a great model. Like, is there a story behind it? Like, I don't know if he lost it or whatever. But I'm just like, yeah,
Right. Poor guy. He lost in the flight over there, so he went into some antique shop and then bought a can of soup, ate some lunch.
I guess. Sometimes you can just cut your losses, and just be like,
Oh my God.
I
Yeah,
mean, like,
just don't play with it, man.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't even that good in Sigmar anyway. It's great. I wish I had more than those because I only have one of those.
Mm,
Second one would be nice. Oh well, reminiscing
yeah.
about old world. We'll get back to some old world talk at some point in the future here. But yeah, no, I think I'm excited for 40K. We'll hopefully see more information about it by the end of this month. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, like I said, this time next week when we're recording, I'll have the line on pre-order, and then I'll eventually have them in my hands. I have no idea how I want to paint them up, though.
Green.
I do, but I want to do that black into green like they did. I don't know.
Oh man, no, it's a cool model. As much as shit as I give the Space Marines and everything, it is a
Oh
cool
yeah, yeah.
model.
That's fine. It's warranted. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, no, it should be a good time. But no, I know. As we said, we're kind of shorter on time today, and not going to
Hmm.
be a long one. But yeah, me and Neil have our excitement for 40K. We have our plans, what we want to add, what we want to do. Maybe I can convince Neil to go to a U.S. Open and play 40K. Not a chance.
Wow. You better
No,
hope this tournament on the 30th of April goes very well for me.
listen, I just want you to come to U.S. Open. You don't even have to play. You can just walk around.
Right, right.
But yeah, no, I think it's a good place to leave it there instead of rambling on needlessly.
All right.
We'll try and get you a longer episode next week, everybody. But Neil, any closing thoughts?
No, I got nothing.
All right. Well, I don't either. So everybody stay Stormcast strong and happy hobbying.
All right.